What's going on, guys? Here to give you a little bit of a longer non-live video, kind of like a podcast. It's just Dave and Dash talking. Dave and Dash uncensored. But anyways, joining me is Dave himself. Dave, how are you, buddy?
Obviously, it's me. I'm doing all right. How you doing, bud?
Oh, just messing with my color for some reason on my
Oh, your
lights
colors.
because it
Yeah,
was
it's a
shining my
disco in there.
face. It is.
So, guys, first off, hit that like button before we trail off into the nonsense here. That nonsense, however, I shouldn't say it's nonsense. It's silly season. It's the transfer market. We're gonna basically do the weekly recap from our last live on Saturday night, and we'll go live again this Saturday night, of course. When you guys get to jump in, the Cullen show. So we're gonna do that in a couple days. But until then, let's get you guys up to speed because there has been quite a bit this past week, 5 days even. I got a list. There's a list of things, and we're gonna try to bang them out. But we'll talk about the most important things first, and we'll trail off from there.
Yeah, let's do that.
So first thing, I'd like to start off with a bit of a joke, right? So Conference League playoff rounds, they forgot to put Juve as a team there. Just omitted us.
Are we? Have they put us in? Or are we not in?
Yeah, it took them a few minutes. They put us in, but is this like foreshadowing?
The
blank space.
Well, no,
I don't know.
It's weird because what is it? The prosecutors apparently just dropped all charges recently.
Yeah.
So I'm like really curious about that. So it's like, did we just get docked 10 points for no reason?
Maybe. I that there needs to be more of that to come out. I've only seen little tidbits of that. I'm not really sure of the background. We're gonna have to do something dedicated on just that situation alone.
It's funny. I know we have to do a video on that completely. We need to get like a lawyer, like a guy that understands law, because unfortunately,
we know one, but he's.
I only watch Suits, and like that doesn't qualify as me a lawyer. So sorry.
I watched Ally McBeal back in the day. Does that count?
Oof. Yeah, that kind of counts. It's like I watch a lot of Law and Order, but this is corporate crime. Oh, yeah. I thought it was interesting because Juve settled, and it's like now that the case has been settled, there's no take back seas.
Yeah.
And apparently they're just like, oh, hey, yeah, and Yelly and all you guys, yeah, we've got nothing. You're good. And just kind of like, what the hell? Like, what is this?
Yeah, which I mean, for Agnelli, who decided to go his own way, he's like, no, I'm going to fight this one. It looks like he's getting off.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Yeah, but that's for another day. Anyways, we're going to focus on the transfer talk. So, and actually, I should just say we do know the teams that we're supposed to be playing. That's Aston Villa. I don't know why I say it Spanish. Villa, Aston Villa, Frankfurt, Lille, and Osasuna. So that's who we can be looking forward to in Osasuna from Spain. Mid-table team. They're okay. Yeah. All right. So that's gonna be August. No, they don't have the dates yet, do they? I didn't even
for the summer tour.
No, for the Conference League. That's going to be in
August.
So. That's going to be in August, though. So that's coming up. Now, for the next season, 80% of our season tickets have already been sold.
And then 72% of that have been sold with the highest standings, like the highest quality, like as far as like packages go.
Yeah. So the fans are still in it. I mean, all this shouting of Allegri out, was that just the minority just being really
100%? I think so, because it's like, you have schmucks that are sitting there and like, let me post an image. The management's going to do that. No. When you have people like still buying season tickets, 80% of the season tickets were sold. You Allegri outstands, unfortunately, did not do your job properly. I need you guys need to take a class in financial boycotting and shithousery, because hate to break it to you guys, but your whining and crying did absolutely nothing. When you can't provide a concise argument, no one listens to you, and things go on as normal.
Yeah, nobody was really paying attention to you anyways. It was one of those negative feedback loops. So congratulations, you confirmed your biases. Let's move on.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Okay, and the last bit of known news, like we know what happened. Everything else is just a rumor from here on out.
Milkman?
The Milkman is signed
is the
for
Milkman.
6.3 plus 1.1. I did a quick little 1-minute video for you guys there if you didn't catch that. And if you didn't catch that, that's a shame because I'm not going to tell you what the coupon code is, but you have to watch that video to get the coupon code if you want to get that 15% off the Milkman t-shirt.
Yeah, and it's a nice t-shirt, guys. It's a good t-shirt to work out in. I do it all the time. You know, the thing is like, I think that's actually a good deal for a backup striker. Because right now, anything, I mean, you find something with Milik's production, you're easily paying 15, 17 million. So
Yeah.
6 plus 1, and then the 1 is appearance bonuses too. So it's like tied
I
to
wouldn't be
appearances.
surprised if he doesn't pick that up.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how many.
I kind of wish we did the Galatasaray bonuses where it's like,
now that we know how they work.
I know 5 million and then like 20 million in bonuses if Juve wins the Champions League, Italy wins, or Poland wins the World Cup, Milik wins the Ballon d'Or, and it goes up to that. Yeah, we'll get to it when we talk about Zaniolo, but like, Dave, I got to tell you some of the stuff, like the way that they're handling the Zaniolo financing and stuff like that. It's actually really funny. But look, Milkman is back. I think this is confirming that Allegri's probably going to stay to a 3-5-2 because right now, currently as it stands, you have Dusan, you have Milik, and you have Keane. And that's, again, the assumption that we know that Allegri is the coach, but apparently Momblano decided to tweet this morning. Allegri went from 99.14% to 36.34%. So I don't know. But Milik is here.
He's here. Doesn't matter. I'm glad because we can. I was thinking, like, what if he doesn't resign? We have all those shirts. What do we do with those shirts? So no, it's good.
Send him to a third world country. It's like,
the
team that loses, the championship.
The Roma championship bus. Did they get rid of the bus?
I wonder what Roma did with all the Europa League champion shirts that they made.
How about all the Calcio is back shirts?
I think they're still trying to sell that. They're trying to sell it at a discount.
Who was it from Spain? Marca was making fun of the whole thing, but
the Calcio's back thing.
Yeah, but it is Marca, so screw those guys.
I mean, screw them, but at the same time, it's kind of funny. You fucked around and you found out, Serie A.
Yes. And actually, before I forget, too, one thing that we know for sure as well, Tonali to Newcastle, going into some Milan news, but a bit of a shock, I think, for a lot of us.
I don't.
I
came in super blunt. I don't.
Okay, at the price, so 70 mil. It's a lot of money. You kind of have to sell him at 70 mil. He's not a 70 mil player. Absolutely, he is not. I think he's a great player. I hate playing against him. He's an asshole.
I would say 40 or 50. 50 at the high side?
At the high side, yes.
So the funny thing about this, Dave, is the reason why I'm kind of not surprised is because, again, he was a Maldini guy. He even took a pay cut to come to Milan. Like he was only earning like $2.5 million as like Milan's centerpiece player. So it's like, from what it seems, it looks like these new guys in Milan are kind of like, hey, let's buy some guys, young guys, upward trajectory, flip them for a profit. Because I'm sure Tonali was pissed about it, because Tonali's like, hey, I'm here, Maldini, and this and
it's
that.
His team. It was supposed to be his team.
Yeah. And then, Maldini got fired, and this guy's like, bleep it. I'm telling you this, guys, like, fortunately for you Milan fans, this is only the first domino. Like, Teo Hernandez is out 100%. Leao is probably out.
Well, yeah, it's going to go for money.
Yeah, Magnan is probably going to be gone as well. Because the thing is
losing Donnarumma and then Magnan, imagine.
I wouldn't be shocked. The reason why I'm saying I wouldn't be shocked is all of those guys, especially Leao and Teo, Maldini's guys. They signed in with Maldini. Even Leao renewed because of Maldini. So now you fired Maldini. Those players don't give a rat's ass about the sporting director that they have in now. And they saw how Tonali got shipped out. Tonali's out making almost 10 million more a season than he was if he stayed at Milan. So it's like,
what a payday.
Yeah, unfortunately for Milan, you guys are about to fumble the bag and go straight back into banter era. Like, I'm sorry, I don't see this.
Is the fall that quick though? Like, I did not expect that.
Oh, if they lose Teo Hernandez or Magnan, they're done. Especially if they lose Magnan, they are gone.
He's a great keeper.
I see them Europa League at best next season. And that's not me trying to be biased at all. Like, Mignon is huge. Like, you can tell when Mignon plays in Milan, their defense is a lot more confident. When Mignon isn't there, I don't know, man. Their center backs forget how to play basic footy. So, you know, I would love to have a more competitive Italy, but like obviously, my Juventino is like kind of like, haha, your best players, one of your best players is essentially out the door. But at the same time, man, I feel bad for Milanistas because 10 years of struggling, they finally climb up to the top of the mountain peak, and then
And
next
then
thing later,
poof, done.
done.
Just like that. So it's interesting, the landscape, and that's why we talk about it, because Serie A in general. So we're trying to rebuild. We're in that rebuild phase already. Milan did rebuild, and immediately they are starting over, it looks like.
Yeah,
Napoli, just fire everyone, I guess. Start over.
Speaking of
Inter,
fire,
maybe a bit of continuity there, but are we going back to that point? Like, whoever kind of climbs up the hill the fastest is going to get just 9 straight again, kind of like what we did.
I don't know. I don't think so, because the thing is like Inter, and this is me looking from the outside. I don't really know too much on the inside. So this Inter reminds me of 2010 Inter, where it's like, they were, from when we got relegated till 2010, Inter were just dumping money, just dumping things, getting experienced players into the project to the point to where they won, their Champions League. And I think this Inter is on the same trajectory, because look how old their squad is.
Yeah, well, Brozovic might be leaving. They're still looking to get Fratesi, but they need to sell Brozovic to finance that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Milan getting that 70 million or 80 million allegedly.
And now they can just go in and
They could go in and snag Fratesi easy.
So it's really, and we might as well just hit Fratesi because that's the big name on the docket, one of them tonight. It's going to end up coming down to where he wants to play. And from what I understand, I believe he's an Inter guy.
He's an Inter fan.
So,
there's 2 midfielders that I think that are going to essentially dominate the Serie A transfer market. One's going to be Fratesi, the second one's going to be SMS. Because like, now that Milan's got spending money from Tonali, a lot of things are saying that they're looking at SMS as well. And I don't know if that throws a wrench in Juve. To be honest with you, I don't even know Juve's stake in SMS. Like, they have a contract agreement for $4 million a season.
Well, and that's the thing, though. So they're likely not going to get Fratesi. The way I look at it, he's an Inter guy. Milan has the money. If he can't go to Inter, maybe he comes to us just so he doesn't have to go to his arch rival, but we're still arch rivals. I don't think it makes sense any way you look at it, whether it's Milan or Juve.
Yeah. Well, the thing, so here's the reason, something that's interesting, Dave. So Milan signed Thuram. I think, is it Thuram or
Thuram, yeah.
Thuram. They signed Thuram for $6 million a season. And they barely offered Leao 5. So I'm kind of curious on how this financial structure.
They don't have money. They don't. Well,
I don't understand.
Has money.
I mean, the thing is, though, like, why are you offering Thuram more than you would offer Leao? That doesn't make sense to me.
That's suspect as well. Yeah, that is a good question.
Because the thing is like, so sure, Milan goes for SMS, but like, are they going to give SMS more than 4?
Well, the advantage we have is that SMS does have that agreement, and he's wanted to be with Juve, and we've been working to get him to Juve for like 5 years.
The problem is right now is it's Ravella, to be honest with you, because Lazio want Ravella as part of the exchange, because I don't think Juve want to do a lump sum when it comes to cash. They want to put Zakaria, but Sarri wants Ravella.
So the longer this gets drawn out, the more in our favor, or at least goes away Lazio, right? Because there is the will of the player. Now, yes, he can still hold out.
He could.
But then he's not getting any money, right? I don't think he's that dumb.
No, I don't think so.
But if you get like 35 for him, because he's at that age now where he's going to start his decline, essentially, unless he's just one of these like Balkan guys that goes till 40. But
like Jaco.
Yeah. Where did he just go to?
I think he went to Saudi. Did he?
Yeah. Oh, I don't have the name in my head, but yeah, he just moved out as well.
Yeah, Jaco officially left Inter, which is interesting.
Yeah, at 35, 36.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. As SMS, he's hitting that 30 mark, right? So that's why I like Fratesi, because he is that youth player, but then if there's so much interest, we're looking at 40-ish mil either way. We have to replace Rabiot,
So
most likely.
more than likely, because from what I saw is that he's packing his bags and he's on his way out. But the thing is like Fratese and SMS are interesting because, like, for example, Fratese, you're kind of like hoping, in a sense, where you're hoping it's that guy. But and then like with SMS, the dude's been consistently producing double-digit goals and assists.
And that's I mean what it comes down to. And yes, we're trying to rebuild from a very young core, but you do need that veterancy.
I think so.
That isn't Bonucci. You need some sort of veterancy.
You need a veteran midfielder.
Yes,
because like for example,
and Pogba we can't rely on either.
Yeah,
right? So,
like how long would you have that mid? Like, I don't even know. Like for example, Pogba in the last 2-3 seasons hasn't even played a half a season at least. So it's like, with all due respect, yes, their midfield improved this season. It did decent, but like for example, Rabiot was in your consistent guy, your main guy, and he's out the door.
Yeah, you have to replace that piece.
The thing is like I think SMS is a clear upgrade over Rabiot because, like for example, yeah, Rabiot great season, etc. But like for example, the main hole in Rabiot's game, and I said Rabiot's not much of a playmaker. Rabiot's a workhorse.
Or a goal. Like he got 10 goals this season.
But those were just finishes in the box, yeah.
But yeah, like they weren't pretty goals. He just it was positioning a lot of the time, right? Yeah. SMS is able to take those shots from outside the box and curl them in.
He's almost in a sense a more like he's a physical Pogba.
Yeah.
If you think about
it. And imagine Moretti going to the gym with SMS. I need this to happen. I need SMS to like grab Moretti by his scrawny little arms and just like put steel into them and just say, lift these up. Come back to me when you're massive.
Because think about it, because like everyone's kind of looking at it, well, Fratese could be like, an Italian of the future and yada, yada, yada. It's like we technically have two or three.
Yeah, Moretti, Fagioli.
And Loka.
Loka, Sule coming up. I know he's more forward, but
but like looking at it from a midfield, like a future perspective midfield, like you have 3 promising Italians already. Like I don't understand the value of a fourth. Like Fratese is younger, but at the same time, it's like, is he able? Because like for example, Loka's had some obvious growing pains coming to Juve.
Yes, like another Sassuolo guy, right?
So, yeah, it's obvious. So at this point, I need a guy that's the guy. Like in my opinion, and like and I said it on the call-in show. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about a Fratese, Locatelli, Fagioli midfield.
It's very young, and that's going to be good. But you still, and especially the midfield, I think you do really need a character like that to come in and just teach these young guys for 2-3 years and just let them be your disciple. And then you move on and these kids are ballers.
Exactly. Because like the thing is like you have SMS, and then say that we hypothetically say that Moretti's still on the roster, but like you have Moretti and you have Fagioli and even Locatelli as well. Yeah. Those 3 kind of play off of SMS, kind of get a couple of things, and in 3-4 years, Moretti and Fagioli are going to be ready to take the reins. Where it's like you have Fratese come in, and Fratese's kind of, with all due respect to Fratese, but I still think he's kind of learning the game.
Yeah, he's not completely developed yet, which again is exciting. If you're going to pay 40 mil for a 30-year-old or a 25-year-old, I mean, there's pros and cons to each. What's the best for us right now?
But when has Juve been strictly all Italian midfielders? I don't even think
there's maybe. I don't know.
Exactly, because it's like you look at it even back in the 90s, even now. Like, for example, what was your main offensive centerpiece? Zidane in the 90s. And then it's like, you look at it now and it's like you had Vidal, you had Pogba. Like, those were your main guys in the midfield too. Like, and of course with Marquisio and Pirlo, but like even the Champions League Juve, who was your main guy in the midfield? Miralem Pjanic was your main assist provider, another Balkan guy. But like the thing is like you kind of need one of those guys. Like I don't know, because like for example, you we're running a 3-5-2 allegedly. So it's like you have Locatelli, you have Milinkovic-Savic, and then you have Pogba. Those guys are creators, man. Like all three of them are. Those help you with your counterattacking because let's be honest, our counterattacking sucks. Like we don't know how to counterattack. Like,
We can't pass the ball is the main thing.
yeah, we
That comes
can't.
from the midfield. So
It comes, yeah, that's where it comes from. So it's like you have Fratesi, yeah, he can pass, he can score, he can do stuff. Like he had some decent showings with Italy, but like I'm kind of over the whole has a couple of great games with the national team and let's buy him hype.
yeah, I definitely see where you're tentative with that. But that being said, this is a perfect time for you guys to get into the comments and let us know because this is I'm not even 100% sold
I
in either one direction. You know?
I know it's like I'm leaning more SMS, and the main thing for me is maturity and experience,
Yeah, and
like
physicality,
and physicality.
which we need. We need to replace that Rabiot physicality.
Yeah, because we need a dog in the midfield. Like we need an aggressive guy in the midfield, and SMS is aggressive. He's pretty durable from the record as well. And then again, the consistency. He's a consistent player.
Mhm.
Like the thing is like we did not have a Danilo in the midfield. Like a guy that you're gonna get a 7 all the time. You might get something higher with SMS, but like for example, SMS's floor is better is better than what most of our midfielders' averages are. Like
Mhm.
if you were to average out SMS's floor, he would have better performances than Loca. I would say better overall performances than Fagioli, better than Moretti. Maybe Rabiot and him would kind of tie, but like again, I think he would have a nod up Rabiot because I'm sure he'd provide more assists than Rabiot would, more ball facilitation. So I think that's the thing there with SMS. And it is a pipe dream, but it might happen, but I don't know, man. For me, it's just like I I I can't go too young with this midfield. Like Pogba can't be your main veteran guy for the midfield
Mhm.
unit.
No. And just one little last point: Zakaria has been proposed to be included to go to Lazio. So maybe get a few bucks off that one. I don't know how much. I heard
Or
somewhere like 12 mil he might be worth. How much he's been trading for? But
or
West Ham is also sorry.
yeah. No, go ahead, go ahead.
No, that's just
Yeah,
just
like or we could have a bidding war in the Premier League for him because it was West Ham and allegedly numerous other teams that want Zakaria. So
yeah.
start a
So
bidding war on that,
watch.
raise the price up. Let's do it.
Yeah, if you can get I mean, hypothetical, of course, say like 20 mil for Zachary and even put like
Anything,
15
yeah, even higher. I would
towards
say 15's the floor, 20 we're happy.
yeah, and then you just reinvest into because I mean, do you really want to? Because let's talk Pellegrini as well. I mean, we got these pieces that we're trying to work out. I think when you're dealing with Lazio, you're just gonna be like, "Here's your money, give me your player, and leave me alone. I'm not
I
talking
th-
to you until the next time."
I think Juve include Pellegrini in the deal for SMS. I don't think there's another player. I think it's
But now
Pellegrini
they want half. They want to pay like 7.5. They're
for
supposed to be an obligation at 15, but or option, not obligation, but they want a
yeah,
deal on that.
look, I mean, if it's 30 to 40 and you take the 7 and and you get a really good midfielder, I don't know. I mean, personally in my opinion, I understand that we're not great financially, but I don't like I don't know. For me, it's like I think it's maybe a 1 or 2 season lull before we really kind of get on our feet and I think honestly, I really think that SMS is a good bridge midfielder for the next 3-4 years if you're able to get him for 3 or 4 years.
Oh
His
yeah,
his
yeah,
last
I imagine.
contract, his last kind of like his last hurrah, and then you'll have enough time. You'll have more of a margin for error for Fagioli and if Moretti stays with SMS, where it's like I don't think you have a margin for error with Fratesi because it's like Fratesi. I don't know, Dave. I'm not convinced.
You know,
That's all.
no, that's the problem. We're not convinced. He had a good showing there in the Nations League, but small sample size, different setup, different team. Uh, I don't know. I just don't know because again, Loca, we paid. What did we end up paying total? Was it 35, 40?
Yeah, 35. So it was roughly about 35. I think that's what we paid for Loca there. but it was more so because I don't think Sassuolo is gonna do like a 2-year loan for Fratese for us, and that's why, like, for example, if they were to do something like that with a 2-year and then a payment in installments, then I could understand it, but
Not with the bidding war.
yeah, not with the bidding war. I think, yeah, because like the thing is like, let's be honest here. So with Locatelli told Sassuolo like, "Hey man, I'm only going to Juve. I'm not going anywhere else." So like with Fratese is like, "Hey man, whoever gives me the best deal, I'm going for it." So yeah, I don't because Inter allegedly when everyone was like up in arms celebrating for Inter that they got Fratese, Inter was trying to do a 2-year loan and obligation to buy. But if I'm Sassuolo, I would say no, hell no, especially with Milan selling Sandro.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, they'll hold out. So now I know this isn't necessarily transfer rumor. I kind of want to just touch on it before we move on with the other rumors. Gintoli, he's coming, not coming. We'll know in the next 2 days. We'll know by the June 30th. We'll know sometime.
Wasn't he
I don't
released
know.
today?
No, well, apparently he's working on a release, and that's what I'm saying, right? There's so much conflict in the news feeds here. I just wanted to touch on it real quick, saying looks like it's getting close, but then an article comes out, and you're like, yeah, maybe it's a couple weeks away. I don't know. I've almost kind of just forgotten about it and put it on the side, and I've been more interested in the Fratesi, the SMS, Parisi, Zaniolo, whatever. And Gintoli's just like, if he comes, it comes. Like, whatever at this point. I don't know. Do you have any feelings about this now, or have you moved on as well?
To be honest with you, I'm just kind of like whatever. It's not like if he comes now this week or next week, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Like
It's just
if Juve did anything, essentially they've already talked to Giuntoli and they're like, all right, cool. What players do you want? What kind of thing do you want to do? And I think Mana and them already are kind of
they're
enacting what
talking.
Giuntoli wanted to do. So it's like there's not really anything, to be honest with you, Dave, where I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Oh, da 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 da. Like he's coming. More than likely, he's coming to Juve. When I don't know.
Yeah. He will, if not this season, the next season at the very least. But yeah, I figured we'll at least touch on that because it is a thing, recurring theme. As well as Allegri, there's still those little bits of news that say, oh, he might actually leave. And, he might just get kicked. I'm banking on that he's staying for now. That seems the most likely. But yes, there is news that will indicate otherwise. Throwing it out there. It is the rumor talk. So I'm just throwing it all down. But let's get to the next big name, Parisi. This one's getting real hot.
Yeah. I believe Mana's going to Empoli to meet with them to finalize the deal.
Yeah, so this one looks like it actually might be really close, really exciting. We started looking at him last season. So he's got another season under his belt. I'm surprised. So it worries me a bit that this is looking too easy. Does it seem too easy?
This Mercado?
Just to pick him up?
I think it's easy. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Because when it's too easy, like, okay, is this guy overhyped a little bit? Are we clawing on to something?
See, the thing is, it's like he's like that 75 with 85 potential on FIFA guy.
But he'll take like a few. He'll be 27 by the time he kind of gets there.
Yeah.
I kind of see what you're saying. Yeah, he's good. He's a good solid fullback. Right. Fullbacks are hard to come by, especially at a price. We're looking at 12 to 15.
He's not, he's not like for example, he's not like an 81, 82 overall with a potential of an 89. Like he's not that guy, because like if he was that guy, then he's probably gone into the Premier League. But yeah, Parisi, he's like that 77, 78, 79, and people are going to sit here and be like, "Dude, stop treating it like FIFA. It's not like that."
It's context. It's just to give context into things.
Just hear me out, folks. But he's like, again, 77 overall guy in FIFA with a potential of like an 85 or an 86. So it's like one of those things where it's like he's on people's radars, but he's not really on people's radars. Because, like, for example, you look at Italy, you look at all the teams, they've all got decent fullbacks. The teams that are looking for something of his profile. Inter don't need any. They have DeMarco and they have Dumfries. So they're good.
Yeah.
And then Milan has Teo Hernandez and Castagne. No. Calabria. I don't know why I said chestnuts, but
because I mean he's a name that's been coming out. But
he is a name. But you have those, so it's like you've got that, and then it's like, for example, Parisi, in my opinion, I think he's out of Lazio's spending range, in my opinion. So I don't think Lazio are going to go for him because they have
if they
Husa.
can't pay 15 for Pellegrini, they certainly can.
How are they going to pay 15 for that? Because they're running Husai, and then and they're running Pellegrini on the left and whoever. But as far as options go, there's not really any other team. I don't think he would go to Roma, just with Roma having Spinazzola and then Karsdorf on the right.
So we're just in a situation where the other big dogs
aren't really going
in the mix for it.
Yeah. So it's like that. Like same thing with Cambiasso as well. It's just like it's us and then Bologna. So it's like, yeah, we own them, but like for example, Bologna is really the only suitor that wants them.
Yeah.
So it's like with Parisi, I know it sounds like too good to be true, but at the same time, if you look at the market, there isn't really much of like a hunt for left backs.
No, it makes sense when you put it that way. You've kind of calmed my nerves a little bit.
So
there.
yeah, and if anything, I think it's a 12 plus 3. I think that's what Juve is going to do.
Yeah, something in that range. Anyways, that one, I mean, that could even be tomorrow. Not to like get the hype out, and by the time people are listening to this, it might have even happened. But yeah, that one's just hot on the presses. That I don't know if we wanted to put like a Dave and Dash number on it, percentages. If you want to play that game,
I would say 85. I would say 85%.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going in that 80 to 90% range for sure.
85 on the double D scale.
Yeah, 85. I guess that's a thing now. We're doing it. So
we're doing it. So
let's bring up Turkey. Oh no, you want to bring? Okay, what do you want to bring?
This one's kind of breaking news-ish.
Okay,
not Weah. It's not Timothy Weah. Juve have inquired about Thomas Partey.
Oh, yeah. You know, I didn't actually write that one down because I was just so dejected about
teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work.
I don't want to talk. Okay.
You don't want to talk about it? That's fine. I mean,
I don't because
you guys.
Why? Why?
let me say this, you guys. You want to know what the Dave and Dash scale is on this guy? Negative 100%. He is not coming to you.
I don't want it. No. Like maybe we looked at him like 3-4 years ago, and back then it was like, oh, maybe.
Here's the thing, folks. Juve can inquire information on players. It doesn't mean they're gonna sign them. What happened to all the people that said Timmy Chestnuts was gonna be the first player signed in the Mercado? Just kidding. It was actually Milik. So it's like, pump your brakes, folks, because I saw a lot of news on Twitter today. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Thomas Partey, it's a game over." Oh, blah, 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 blah. It's like, come on.
Were they actually? Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah, people were losing their minds. They're like,
I saw in the Discord. The guys in the Discord were going off.
Yeah, but like, I mean, it was respectable in the Discord. I'm saying on Twitter, like people are like, "Oh my gosh, this grapist is Juve's looking at a grapist," and blah blah blah. I'm sorry, I have to say it. I can't use the actual terminology, but
no, I know. You too would just be cool about things.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm like sitting here, I'm like, guys, they just inquired about him. It's not like it's anything. Like, chill. He doesn't fit with what we need. So it's like, why would we get him? Like, that makes no sense.
No sense whatsoever. So let's just move on from I really don't want to talk about it. It's a non-issue.
Hey,
I think it's fake news.
Negative 100% done. Dusted. Next.
Okay. What is not fake news and a name that has been brought up many times before? We're going to Turkey. We're talking about Nicky Zaniolo.
Yeah, so this one's interesting. So if you guys watch the Lions Den episode that we did on Sunday, they kind of told us how they essentially overall paid only like $2 million for Zaniolo.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. Well, no, they were saying like at the end of the day, it's probably like 15, 16, but still.
Yeah, but as far as like the costs and how they spread it out over time this season, if they sell him this season, they've only paid $2 million for him.
But then there's the 20% sell on. So it's still a good deal. Don't get me wrong. But yes.
Oh, they did fantastic business. It's just, the thing is what I find funny is the release clause they set. They raised it to 40. So Galatasaray is telling people, we're not negotiating. You want to pay the release clause.
But they're sort of negotiating a bit.
They are a bit, but at the same time, I think it's funny because it's good business on their part. Because imagine if someone pays the release clause. So they would make a $30 million euro net profit on Zaniolo. That is ridiculous. Because the thing is like their payment to Roma was like 15 plus 15, and like their release clause is 35 to 40 million, which I think is absolutely just phenomenal business on their part.
And it's Roma's mismanagement of the player as well. I've always kind of liked the guy. I know he's a trouble kid. I've always had issues with, you're at work and you hear people like, "Oh, that guy's trouble," or he does this, does it, whatever. I'm like, maybe you should just be a better boss.
Be a better dad.
Yeah. Just if you're in charge of him, you do better. You're the one failing right now. And that's what I feel Roma did to Zaniolo. And I still think he has a lot of potential.
But do you take the risk and pay 35?
That's a hefty fee. So apparently there is an agreement in principle. I mean, that's with Zaniolo, not Galatasaray. But perhaps Keane might be included. Is that something we do?
Put Keane in it? To Galatasaray?
Obviously, Keane would have to agree to that move, but he would be one of the top guys there.
I don't know, man. I don't want to give up on Keane.
I don't either.
I don't think it makes sense.
I don't think it does either.
Because
I don't know. What do you guys think? Again, like I'm very conflicted. I can't get the words out because I'm so conflicted.
To be honest with you, Dave, and people are going to stab me for this one, but I think Keane has a higher ceiling than Zaniolo.
That could be fighting words. I don't know. That's actually a good discussion.
That's actually a good discussion because, like, the thing is like 2 ACL injuries, man. Like, yes, you're a millionaire, multimillionaire, professional athlete. You got the best doctors in the world, but you just don't reach the pinnacle of what you were going to reach. So it's like with Keane, I think Keane physically is better than Zaniolo, condition-wise better. Yeah. I think once Keane gets on a hot streak and gets that consistency, I don't know. I just think he's higher. To me, Zaniolo's got no pace. And like, for example, if we're playing a 3-5-2, where do you even put Zaniolo?
I was just hoping it was going to be 4-3-3 or bust, but I'm still not buying into the 3-5-2. I'm going to keep.
No. I gotcha. But like at the same time, we have other options that are cheaper that, in my opinion, I think are more versatile.
But apparently he's so close, and we also hear that every year. We hear that every year.
There's two players. There's two players that are very close to Juve. It's SMS and Zaniolo. Like both of them.
One of them has to give. Now, we tried to sweeten the pot with McKennie. McKennie does not want to go to Turkey. He says England or Germany.
But the girls are cute there.
I understand. Like he's American. He wants to either go to the English-speaking country or the one that he spent much of his childhood, which was Germany.
Oh,
he's a homeboy.
He should have played better. Then more teams would have wanted him.
He could have. Yeah, I mean, there's that.
Problem is I think Juve is still holding on the original 34 million asking price. I think, but the thing is, like, if Aston Villa or something, those guys should just pay up to 34 million. I mean, hell, you guys are about to start. The EPL is about to start losing players to Saudi Arabia, so they
got to start picking it up. But since we're on the Americans. And this news is sort of more hot off the presses than a lot of this other stuff.
Right now.
Dash, really. This is all you. This is your homeboy.
Yeah, so Timothy Weah is close to joining Juventus. Right now, there is an agreement in principle with Lille. So you have an agreement with them. 2 options, essentially. It's a 10+2 or a 12 million flat. Guys, to be honest with you, I like him. Misak will probably watch this video and comment and say, yes, Dash, he is a Cuadrado replacement. Timothy Weah is a younger Cuadrado, in a sense. Pace, very good work rate. Obviously, the son of George Weah, if any of you folks know who that is. I believe he's the only African Ballon d'Or player ever. So the only player to win the Ballon d'Or. He was a Milan striker, absolute behemoth. So the thing I like about Weah is his versatility. So he can play at right wing, right mid, right back. He played last season at Lille as a right back.
I got to correct you. You said Lille. It's Lille.
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 Yeah. Okay. Played at Lille. So he played there. He played there as a right back. First season as a right back. Overall average, but again, it's his transition season into the position. And I don't weigh national team performances high, but again, they were playing in the tournament against Mexico and Canada, two really good teams in the CONCACAF, and Weah absolutely dominated Mexico like it was none of his business. Absolutely just ran riot through them. So had a good showing there. I thought it was a decent showing. Again, it's Nations League. Take it as a grain of salt, but he gives you dynamism. He's almost like an Illing Jr. in a sense, where you have Illing on the left, and you have Way on the right. Both pacey players, very fast. So the thing is the United States plays counterattacking. So they are relentless. A lot of their ball movement comes in through the middle, through Rhea, and then they send it out to Weah on the right. Weah crosses it into either Pulisic or whoever's playing striker. I mean, whoever the United States has playing striker that game. But I think he's for 12 million. I think he is a fantastic ad. He is 23 years old. For me, again, I think the one thing that I'm concerned about is consistency. Will he be able to be on the field consistently wise? But I think, in my opinion, it's a good deal, especially in the rebuild phase that we're in. You bring him in, he lights it up. Easy flip at the Premier League next season. Easily if he dominates. So I think it's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see how he plays under Allegri. I'm going to see if Allegri lets him, go through but one thing for sure, guys, is Allegri is going to improve his defensive work rate. So again, if he plays decent, has a good season, that 12 million easily becomes 50, 60 million to the Premier League. So I don't see anything wrong with this deal.
All right, let's go for it. You convinced me. This is all you on this one. Put it on the record.
Poor man's Alphonsi Davies.
Yeah, the poor man, because he's from America.
Because it's like think about it though, because for Canadian folks, Alphonse Davies, he's essentially a left winger for Canada, a left back for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, anywhere on the left, just like Weah.
He's a right winger for the United States, a left back in France, or not a left back, a right back, right winger, right back. So it's like he's that guy, and he understands the defensive phase of the game. It's not like a winger that we just slapped in as a right back. So, in my opinion, yeah, Weah's rated higher than McKennie, in my opinion, as capability wise. Guy can dribble. He can work. He's working on his final ball. It's working. It's getting better. But I'm sorry, man. 10+2. That's a steal.
And I know there's a lot of Americans out there listening to the channel. So if you guys watched them for the US MNT there, let us know. Let us know what you think. And I don't know, maybe you can convince me some more, or you can tell Dash that he's smoking some dope.
Let's go.
Okay, well, since we're out wide, Illing or Kostic, who do you get rid of if you had to? Because apparently we're getting rid of one of them.
Kostic. I sell Kostic.
So this is assuming you go to the 4-3-3.
The thing is Kostic brings value only in one formation, and that's it. Where it's like, for example, if you're Allegri, you need taxable. You need tactical flexibility where you're able to play in multiple formations. For me, it's like Kostic 3-4-3 and 3-5-2. That's really it. Because, like, for example, with Allegri, if you have dedicated wingers and right backs and left backs and left wingers, you can run the 4-3-3 or you can run the 4-2-3-1. Kostic to me doesn't fit in any of that and that flexibility whatsoever.
Flexibility, very true.
I think he's not flexible enough tactically for us, where it's like he had a great season, just kind of tailed off at the end. But like, for example, if you're getting an offer anywhere near 20 million or north of that, sell him. Take it. Dude's turning 30. Dude's going to be on the south side of his career. Cash out while it's hot.
That's true. He probably won't bring in much. Illing might actually bring in more, especially from the Premier League. That being said, you hold on to him for another year or so, and that price might just skyrocket. So I would go more towards keeping Illing right now and then looking for that possible payday, in which case, I mean, I guess fix that left wing problem at that time when you have to get rid of Illing Jr. But yeah, I don't think he stays. That's the problem. Is Illing? I don't think stays long term with Juve unless there's some sort of bond that we've created. I don't know, but he is English, so
Yeah, but
I don't see why he wouldn't go back.
that's a crazy plus Valenza if you sell Illing for 25 million though.
It is, but I'm gonna say give it a year or two. He's 60 mil.
Oh
Like if
yeah,
he
give
really
him,
lives up.
as I say, give him a year or two of consistent playing. They're gonna be hyping him up at the Premier League, and they'll sell him for 120 easy. He's
Yeah,
easy.
because he's English. Now, speaking of a winger who's Italian, and 60 mil bid, I think we had on
Yeah, from
Chiesa.
Aston Villa.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy. Liverpool only offered 40, and Aston Villa is
yeah, I know, right?
willing to throw 60 at it.
I think Liverpool needs him less,
Yeah.
and that's what he's worth to them. Whereas Aston Villa is like, let's get this guy. We need a winger. We need Chiesa. Everyone needs a Chiesa, especially Aston Villa for 75 mil.
So that's actually interesting because so this just came in. Newcastle United is monitoring Federico Chiesa and AC Milan left back Teo Hernandez.
Newcastle is
I think Newcastle buys Teo Hernandez. I don't think they get Chiesa, but I think they buy Hernandez.
I think Pep Guardiola to Newcastle
Is more than likely happening.
Yeah, let's do it. Newcastle's the new Man City.
Yeah,
I'm tired of that disgusting baby blue. We got to move on. Going to the stripes.
Going to the black. At least one black and white stripes team is going to win everything. No.
Yeah.
So Dave, let me ask you this. Let me riddle you this. 80 to 90 million euro offer comes for Chiesa.
Yes.
Do you sell?
80, 90, that's an easy yes. That's huge plus Franza on a player that has not really proven himself with an ACL tier. I don't see how you don't. I love the guy. I absolutely love the guy. He's the only name I have on the back of a jersey over there. That's a lot of money.
That's interesting because you're about to incur the wrath of Juventino.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. If you're saying 80, 90, at 60 million, I'm still like, no, I'll keep them.
No, I get you. So like let's kind of briefly dive into that. So it's like Chiesa's agent allegedly said 8 million a season for Chiesa. Like with all due respect, I think Chiesa probably had like a solid 6-8 months out of his entire career.
So, and that's the thing. He hasn't been healthy. Okay, let's put some context. Apparently, things are okay. There is the news outlets out there saying that there's a bit of a rift and that Chiesa wants to leave and he wants more money. That's not necessarily true. Okay, he probably does want more money. We all want more money. You come and put in the comments right now and say you don't want more money because you're a liar. I don't believe you. Yeah. Unless you're like some sort of nun in a monastery.
Unless you're working for a family business. Even then, you still want more money.
Yeah, you especially want more money.
I'm going to say, what the hell?
Yeah, so...
The question is does he deserve more money?
Does he deserve 8 million?
I don't.
I think he has to put in a solid season and we reassess. He's got, I think, 2 years. He's good to 25.
Yes.
So let's talk about this at the earliest, January.
Because the thing is, like, for me to be convinced to give Chiesa that much, he needs to put in Domenico Berardi numbers. Like, double-digit goals, double-digit assists.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to do...
talking about that guy.
I know, but, like, here's the thing. I hate talking about him, but, like, his numbers are there. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's at Sassuolo. That's it. But, like, for example, could you imagine this season if we had a double-digit goal, double-digit assist Chiesa? We'd easily win the league, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I think we would have.
I think we would have dominated because, like, for example, look at Crava at Napoli, double-digit goals, double-digit assists, 10 and 10,
yeah,
or is it 10 and 9, something like that? As a winger, if you can hit double digits on, like, if you get a double-double, I'm using some basketball lingo here. If you get a double-double,
oh, you're doing pretty all right.
You are flipping amazing.
Yeah,
like you are ridiculously good. If you can get double digits. So, like, for me, I need that from Chiesa for me to sit there and contemplate an 8 plus something. Because, like, if he wants 8, I'll give him a 5 plus 2, 5 plus 3 based on, the bonuses based on goals and assists. Like, that's what I would do. If Juve want to be smart, then you could do that. I would do like, hey, you want that 8 million? I'll give it to you. 10 goals, 10 assists a season.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Nobody is safe this Mercato. That they really are not.
You know,
There's
though,
rumors on everyone, so why
you know
not
the
Chiesa?
the funny thing is, Dave, is what happened to all the Dusan Vlahovic transfers? They've all died, essentially.
So
Because it's
he's
like
not worth the money. He's not. He's not
he's
worth
not
80 mil.
he's not that good. Like,
They're
I
not
think
gonna
that's
pay
it.
that kind of money. Bayern was looking, and
They're
it's
kind of like,
not at that. No. so maybe he has. I think we're keeping him. I think Vlahovic stays.
I don't think you sell him. I don't think he's.
Unless Newcastle comes in, throws down 80.
Unless Saudi Arabia just comes in and decides to do it. But like, let's be honest here, because it's like if Dusan was really struggling from an Allegri only situation, he's gone already.
Well, apparently that Pulbeja injury really was nagging him throughout the season. And that's part of his immaturity. He should have pulled back from the national team.
He shouldn't have gone to the World Cup.
No, that really aggravated things. And then when he went just a couple weeks ago to the national team, he had to turn back home because his Pulbeja acted up.
It's stupid. Honestly, with him, it's stupid. Because it's like, dude, with all due respect, Serbia weren't winning the World Cup.
No.
You weren't. And then it's like, same thing with going in now during the summer. Like, guys, Serbia's got an easy group when it comes to the Euro qualifications. You don't need to be there. Like, get yourself, like, for me, it's like, it's just, to me, everyone's like, oh, well, the honor of playing your national team, blah, blah, blah. Dude, if you tear your ACL on the national team, your club does not give a damn. You become expendable.
They're the ones paying you.
They're the ones that are paying you. Like,
and you only get to your national team by getting consistent minutes with your
actual club team. So it's like, the thing is, it's just like, I get irritated with that, because it's like, with all due respect, Italy screwed Zaniolo's international career. Because Zaniolo's last ACL tear was with Italy.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is like, I understand the need to play for your nation, the drive to do that, and et cetera, et cetera. But when you're hurt, man. Yeah. Like, live to fight another day, especially for Dusan, because Dusan this season, if he's at Juventus, or even if he's not, to be honest with you, if he's at Juve, he's got a little bit more margin for error. But if Dusan takes that 80 million transfer, if that 80 million transfer to Chelsea or Bayern Munich happen, and this dude keeps doing some stupid stuff with his whatever you just named his muscle, you know how much yeah, the Pulbeja. You know how much this guy's going to be under the microscope if he does transfer to another team?
Especially in England.
Worse. Because everyone's going to sit there and be like, okay, let's see what the real issue is. Was it Allegri or was it Dusan? And if Dusan flops, he's done. Immediately done if he flop next season. There is no grace for him next season. So with Juve, it's like, okay, now he's staying. They're trying to rebuild. Because right now, if I'm Dusan Vlahovic, I'm staying because, one, Juve is rebuilding. So that gives you a margin for error. Because if you suck, then it's like, okay, the team's rebuilding, the team's not performing. If you go to Bayern Munich, if you go to Liverpool, if you go to Manchester City, if you go to Chelsea, well, not Chelsea because Chelsea's rebuilding, but if you go to Liverpool, you go to Bayern Munich, you go to those teams that already have certain systems, certain things established, if you don't play well, Bayern Munich fans aren't going to sit there and say, oh, it's Thomas Tuchel. Because when you have the players, when you have Musiala, when you have Sané, when you have, I believe Mueller is still there. He hasn't left yet. But when you have Kimmich, when you have certain players that are moving the ball to you and you're still missing sitters, you can only say, I don't think German fans are going to sit there and tweet Allegri's ruining Dusan. So, if I was both Chiesa and Dusan, if they don't have to be sold, if I was those two, I would sit down, lower my head, and start grinding, man. Because, like, with all due respect to both of them, you haven't proved really much. 6-8 good months, and that's really it, honestly.
Yeah, he's staying. unless somebody with lots of money comes. I think
because the thing is like, if Dusan really hated Juve and Allegri, he would have forced a move already.
Yeah, you would have heard more, but it's still days are still young. We'll
It's
see.
early, but at the same time, think about it, Dave. Like you're getting towards the end of June, where a lot of the big players, all the big players that are moving now. Like
Yeah.
Gundogan has moved to Barcelona. Benzema is out. So is Conte. Koulibaly's on the way out as well. So it's like all those players that wanted moves out, they're moving.
Yeah, they're starting to move already.
There's no hesitation.
Yeah, true enough. Okay, let's go through a couple quick fires, and then we'll get back to a couple discussion points as well before we close out. But Di Maria going back to Benfica, most likely. It's in the talks.
That dude's on vacation mode. That guy's on retirement mode.
Yeah, I think it's a swan song. Good for him going back to
Yeah, good for
he
him.
started.
I got no problems with that. The guy can go and do his thing.
Yeah, should message Adrian there from Rabona TV, see what he thinks about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Cassidy is a name that came up quite a bit. I don't know how much this is really going to be a thing because Chelsea doesn't want to lose him and only wants to dry loan without any options.
No, Chelsea want other teams to develop him so they can either flip him for a profit or actually integrate him.
So unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be something that pans out.
Sorry, guys. The only way we get Cassidy is if we overpay for him, and that's not an option right now. I think this is just whispers.
Now, another one I think is pretty quick is Rugani out. Everyone, you can put hashtag out this year, so I don't know why Rugani is any special news in particular, other than, yes, he's slightly down the pecking order, and if somebody wants to spend money on him, then...
He's fourth option. Bonucci's actually fifth.
He is fifth, yes. Which, let's just roll right into Bonucci then. It's not looking good. Not looking good at all. Apparently... he's been offered a job with Mancini staff with the national team
to retire this year.
Just like
I thought he was
done.
I thought he was going to retire next season, but
that's what he wants to do. But
to be honest, Bonucci, if I was Bonucci, I would just hang it up, dude.
You have to know that the writing's on the wall at this point. But
you got to hang up, man. If Rugani, and with all respect to Walgani, but Walgani's higher than you on the pecking order, dude, just hang it up, man.
And I understand he wants to follow in Chiellini's footsteps, but I mean he retired from Juve 2 years earlier than Bonucci and still got a job with LA. So you're just not at that level, man.
Yeah, just go to LAFC, play one season with Chiellini, and just hang it up.
Yeah, just move on. And in terms of other defenders that we just want to move on, Sandro. Apparently an offer in from Al Nasser, Saudi Arabia again.
Yeah, but I believe we got to terminate the contract, which I'm fine. If Sandro is able to give us a bone to terminate that deal cheaper, so we can just move over to Saudi. But
we'll see. We'll see if Saudi comes in, we'll give you 10 a season or something. Maybe he'll be like, all right, I'm later, guys.
I think the main issue with Sandro, Dave, is the place has got to be livable for him and his family.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sandro's a quiet dude. You can remember when we were covering him on the Twitch, where we were listening to his interview and you could barely hear the guy. He's like he talks like this.
But Arabia could be good for that. I mean, they can just go into little gated communities, whatever there, and escape.
I think that's the main thing for Sandro. Is I think if it works for his family, he'll go.
Yeah. Now, this name will not die. Pau Torres.
I don't know how
We're back to Parto. Oh man,
it's a good idea. I just don't know how they're gonna make it happen.
It's money. So I think it might happen is if we want to go in 4-3-3, we sell Bremer.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only way that Pau Torres works is if you sell Bremer. I think that's the only way that works.
Yeah. Unless somebody has a better idea, again, get that into the comments. But when I see Pau Torres, I see sell Bremer.
That's the only option. But at the same time, I don't understand how you run a back three when you have just 5 center backs.
Well, yeah.
Because you have Danilo, Gatti, Bremer, and then Rugani and Bonucci. Unless you want to count Sandro. Unless you want to count Sandro. Which is 6, but
see that, and that's going to be difficult. I think we don't know what formation we're playing at this point.
I don't. Because the thing is like if you offload Bonucci, Sandro, and it's just Rugani, Bremer, Gatti, and Danilo, even then, that doesn't make sense to make a move for Pau Torres. Because you would need, if you're running a back four, you need at least 4 center backs.
Mm-hmm.
4 center backs, you're good. Unless you just have a ridiculous injury crisis. But like back 3, you need 6. Back 4, you need 2 or 4. That's it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. To be honest with you, you would have to see center backs be moved for Pau Torres to even be a viable option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Unless,
his price has come down because his contract's almost up, but still like probably going to be a 40 plus.
yeah, the only way Pau Torres comes is if we lose Bremer. That's it. That's my
But that
dash.
could be I mean, Bremer, I don't know. Like if he came in, somebody offered, even if it was 60, that's a bit of money. I don't know if that's enough really to make a decision like that, though.
I don't think so.
You'd have to get like 70, 80, and he's not worth that much. Especially since he's a 3 in the back defender, so to speak, you know. Allegedly, he can play 4 in the back. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see him converted. But until I see that, well, that's still up in the air. Let us know what you think as well. Would you get rid of Bremer, bring in Pau Torres, go to the back 4? I honestly can't see any other way.
If Torres comes in, we're 100% playing with a back 4.
Yeah, I would say so. And he's that left-footed defender, so that would also be taking over Bonucci's spot.
Yep.
All right, so finally, and this one has a few names in it, so I saved it to the last. Right backs. We have, because some of these
meat chestnuts.
yeah, you couldn't wait to say that. Because Weah is going to be like the young cheap option. We're still looking for depth, right? We still need more fullbacks in the mix. So we have Vasquez, Castagne, or Chestnuts, Timmy Chestnuts there. Odriozola keeps on coming up. Holm and Singo. Do any of those names excite you?
I think only Singo.
I kind of like Singo.
I think Singo. But he's like how I said, like Parisi, like you're 77 overall.
Yeah,
right
he's
back.
okay.
I like him because he's tactically flexible. So Singo, you can play as a right mid, a right wing, and a right back at the same time.
Which would fit in if you got a Weah as well to.
Yeah, because you'd have an alternating 1-2. Like if you had both Singo and Weah, that right side's locked up. I know Misak is like if I say Singo, but I would rather. The only question is how much we can get Singo from Torino, because Cairo hates our guts, but
everyone hates our guts, though.
I know.
So let's be honest.
I know. To me, like looking at the right back sweepstakes, I would say Timmy Chestnuts is like my if all else fails option. You grab Timmy Chestnuts. Because the thing is with Timmy Chestnuts, he goes on the right and he goes on the left. He's flexible in that sense.
There's a lot of movement on him.
He's the Belgian DeCilio. God, I just spoke taboo.
Oh boy. I guess that's a good point to end the podcast.
I mean, the thing is that's why I'm saying he's the last option. I think he's the last guy.
Weird. Yeah, okay.
So it's one of those things where I think that's the last option. Guys, look, don't sleep on Timmy Weah. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I know
Timmy Chestnuts, let's go Timmy.
Yeah, look, Timmy.
We'll have to get that soundbite. If we go Timmy's, we're getting the soundbite.
Timmy. But like, come on. Like the thing is like, guys, please research Timmy Weah. I know like he's an American. Americans suck at the game. I get it. Ha ha ha. Lol. And then like for example, don't look at his goals and assists last season. Dude was a full blown right back. So
he also has a French citizenship, if that helps you digest it a bit better.
Yeah. So he's a French American, but I don't know. I think this is a low risk, high reward, because you're gonna sell him if he plays average, and he plays the entire season. You are 100% selling him for a profit to the Premier League. For me, it is a win-win. Financially, it makes sense. Sporting wise, it makes sense. This is a good Moneyball deal from Juve. So all I'm gonna say is don't sleep on Timmy Weah, and that's it for me.
All right, you know what? This is perfect. If you're watching, you can see that my puppy is just causing havoc. Just ate a roll of I mean, here's my, what do you call this? Paper towel, just trashed. That's gone. She's eating my headphone cords as we speak. So, yeah, I think that was a good recap. Dash, thanks for the inputs. Was there any last? Is there something I missed? Something you want to add in?
Nope. Just remember to like and subscribe and share this to your friends.
Yes, beautiful. All right. So thanks, guys. That was, I guess, if it's over an hour, it's kind of like a full pod, isn't it?
It's pretty much a pod.
Okay,
kind of
welcome
like
to
a pod
the
episode.
pod.
You know, I
Mini
think
pod.
you know, and I think doing this was good because it's like it's just you and me talking. Like there's times where you and I would do a live show and then we just have like comments, we just get segued and all that stuff. So I think this was one of those things where it's just like me and you just sat down, had a little bit of a fireside chat.
Yeah, absolutely. We try to mix things up. I know there's the channels out there. God bless them that go live every single day, and you guys absorb all of that. That's great. Again, we've always liked to kind of sit down and think things through and just kind of have just a thought out conversation. Yeah,
we want to give you substance because it's like why would we do a live every day when there's not really anything crazy and then you just hear me and Dave just go
and there's 30 other channels doing it, right? So that's why we're trying to mix it up.
So yeah, and the thing is again, this is kind of like your teaser for the call-in show on Saturday, guys. Like we're kind of giving you
juice,
giving you some topics, some stuff. So like for example, you know, someone calls in on Saturday and says, "Hey man, I listened to that Thursday episode and Dash is a freaking idiot."
Yes, yes, he is.
So yeah, guys, I think the one thing that we really want to push is join in the call-in show. It's a panel. You can hop in there. I think we can have 10 people in at one time.
Yeah, I think we can have up to 10.
Yeah, so it's like I think we've been hitting 6, 7 on the last couple ones. Guys, silly season's about you guys coming together and having conversations with each other. That's what we do the call-in show for. So,
and speaking of just getting together, so me and Colin Wynn there, one of our members, we actually got a pro teams going on FIFA PC. I know it's not cross play, but we both have PC. So if you have FIFA on PC, just search up Turin Giants. We're trying to start up a team there. We had some fun. We played like 4 or 5 matches last night. It was great.
I should probably hop on that because I technically have.
Yeah, do that. And if you haven't caught our F1 content that we're doing, I have a couple game streams as well from the latest game, F1 23. Did the watch along for Canada. That was actually really fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know. I think I might enjoy it more than Colin, at least Juve this season.
Hey, the one stream that you're playing with your friends was entertaining because you guys were just talking shit the entire time.
Oh yeah, that's all it is, and that's just the 3 of us. We have like 8 guys that if you can get all together, and it's just constant shit talking.
I mean that's even great for pro clubs too. Like it's us and some of the members just like viewers just hopping in there.
Absolutely, and we do that all in the Discord as well. So hop into that. We we can stream, we can do whatever, voice chat, and there's no like special member. You just jump in and talk, just be Juve friends,
jump in and cook,
whatever. Yeah, just do your thing. We're friendly. We banter, lots of banter. I mean, be prepared, but it's fun. It's good stuff. So I might as well throw the overlay there. Yeah, go. Where is it?
Right there. It's on the top. No,
it's not showing up. Oh, you know why?
It's delayed.
There's a bar. I can't see the barcode. It's messed up. Go in the description down below. There's a link to get into the Discord. Other than that, I think that's it, Dash. That was a fun one.
Yeah, it was a good one. Great conversation.
All right. Of course. Like, subscribe. Do all the jazz. Let us know what you think. Join the Discord, Twitter, Instagram. Anything else I missed? No? All right. Good night, guys. See you on Saturday.
We'll see you on Saturday, everybody.